90% of retail traders lose money, not because their strategy is bad. Most of the time, the strategy was never the problem. The problem shows up in the 20 minutes right after a loss. Let's watch it happen. You take the trade. Clean setup. You followed your plan. Risk was $100, exactly like it should be. Your bias was right too. You can see it later on the chart. Price eventually goes exactly where you thought it would. But you're not there to see it. Because right when your trade was open, without warning, Trump said something. Nothing was scheduled. No red folder on the calendar. Just a headline, and in seconds the pair moved further than it usually moves in an hour. Your stop gets tagged. Minutes later, price turns around and goes on to hit what would have been your take profit, without you in it. This is the part almost no one says out loud. You can be completely right and still lose. A stop loss doesn't care about your bias. It only cares about the path price takes to get there, and that path is never a straight line. Being right about the direction and getting stopped out anyway isn't a contradiction. It's just what trading actually is. That sting you feel right now? That's not just money. Loss aversion means your brain feels this loss harder than it would feel an equal win. And when the loss feels unfair on top of that, a headline you couldn't have predicted, a stop hit right before your bias played out, it doesn't feel like a normal cost of doing business anymore. It feels like something that has to be corrected. But here's where it goes wrong. You don't walk away. You see another setup. It's not as clean. You know it's not as clean. But you take it anyway, bigger size this time. Because in your head, this isn't a new trade. This is justice. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a bad trade and a predator. Losing money triggers the same fight or flight response your ancestors used running from something that wanted to kill them. And right now, your brain has chosen fight. Notice something else. This wasn't your first losing trade ever. You've had losses before and walked away fine. So why does this one feel different? Because 2 days ago you were on a win streak. For trades, for wins. And somewhere in there a quiet thought crept in, you've got this figured out now. That confidence didn't disappear when the losing trade hit. It just turned into something more dangerous. The belief that one more trade will obviously fix this because you're clearly good at this and the market just owes you one back. That's overconfidence talking, not your strategy. Trade 2 hits your stop 2. That $100 loss is now $500. In under 20 minutes. This is the pattern. Clean, disciplined morning. 1 loss, a fair trade with an unfair outcome. 2 revenge trades chasing something that was never personal. And by the time the second one closes, you haven't just lost today's money. You've erased 2 or 3 days of gains you actually earned by following your plan. The original loss was manageable. The response to it wasn't. And here's the part almost nobody talks about. Revenge trading isn't really about the money anymore. Somewhere in those 20 minutes, the goal quietly shifted. You're not trying to recover $100. You're trying to recover the feeling that you're good at this, the feeling that headline stole from you. Once it becomes about your ego instead of your account, the pull gets much harder to walk away from. According to FCA research, 78% of retail traders who fall into this pattern end up losing more than their entire starting deposit within 6 months. Not from one bad trade, from this cycle on repeat. Because it doesn't stop at $500. That night, you tell yourself you'll be disciplined tomorrow. You mean it. But tomorrow, the market gives you one clean loss again. Fair or unfair, it won't matter, and the same 20 minutes replay. Discomfort, shame, impulse, bigger loss, promise, repeat. Traders who actually break this don't do it with more willpower. Willpower is exactly what's gone the moment a loss hits. That's the whole problem. They do it with a rule that exists before the emotion does. A hard daily loss limit set on a calm morning that they are not allowed to override on a bad one. Not a suggestion. A circuit breaker. Here's why that matters more than it sounds like it should. Without a hard limit, a loss feels open-ended. There's no wall to stop it, so your mind doesn't stop either. It just keeps looking for a way to fix it right now. But the moment there's a rule that says, I stop after losing X% today, the loss stops being a crisis. It's just a number you already agreed to before your emotions were running the show. That's the entire trick. You're not trying to out-willpower your amygdala in the moment. You're taking the decision away from that version of you entirely and handing it to the calmer version who set the rule this morning, the version who also knows that some days the market simply wasn't fair, and that's not something a fourth trade can fix. Because the market will hand you a loss today. Sometimes a fair one, sometimes not. That's not optional. What happens in the next 20 minutes, that part still is trading psychology. No hype, just the 20 minutes that actually decide your account.